Hello, today's lesson is going to be on showing students how to create an iMovie video to showcase their work. So the first thing that we're going to do is open up iMovie, and iMovie is a free movie making software, video editing software located on any Mac, and you will find the icon to open it down in your toolbar. It's the star-shaped icon, and that's iMovie, so just click on that and iMovie will open. Now the next thing is to create a new project, so we're going to click on File and we're going to click on New Project. And the first thing that you'll notice is that the students have a number of different themes depending on the look that they're going for. So there's a documentary look, there's an action or an adventure look. For students that are interested in animation, there's a comic book look. But for the purposes of this lesson, I'm going to choose No Theme. Then I'm going to come over to the right side and I'm going to give my project a name, and I think I will call this one Alaskan Wildlife, because I'm going to be showcasing different pictures on wildlife in Alaska. And I'm going to select widescreen aspect ratio because most television sets are widescreen over the standard, so I will select that. The frame rate, I'm going to leave the default 30 frames per second. And down at the bottom I have a choice to either have the cross dissolve or really any transition. There's a number of different options, but I can choose to have the transition added automatically between every single picture and video clip, or I can add them myself where I want them. So I will deselect automatically add and I will create my movie. So as you can see, the project is called Alaskan Wildlife, and this is where I'm going to drop my still pictures. And this section here is where I will edit video, and this section is where I will preview the movie to see if I like the way it looks. So the first thing I want to do is add my pictures. Now I have a couple of choices. I can drag them right from my desktop or any file on my computer, or I can select them from iPhoto. If I use iPhoto, which is another free software on the Mac, iPhoto is the little camera with the picture icon. If I store my pictures in albums on iPhoto, I can just click this little camera button and it will open up all of my photos, all of the different albums that I have, and different photos. But for the purposes of time, I've already selected just a few photos and I've put them on my desktop in a folder called iMovie Lesson. So all I'm going to do now is select the pictures that I would like. It doesn't matter what order you drag them over and you can move them later. So I'll start from the beginning and just look and drop and drag. So I'll select the black bear. I have some moose, brown bear, and if you notice there's a green vertical line, this is where I'm going to be placing the picture. And again, I can move them around after I have selected them. So just select a couple of them just to give you an idea of what's going on here. All right. Get some glaciers. And we'll get a whale. So I've selected a couple of pictures. Now I can see if I put my cursor at the beginning, the red line is where it's going to start, and I hit the space bar, I can preview it on this side of the screen. And if you notice where one picture ends and another one begins, it's kind of choppy. And that's because there's no transition in between the clips. But before I add transitions, I want to do a few more things. First, I want to grab video. Now, you can grab a video in a number of ways. You can grab it directly from the camcorder, or you can grab it from a file that you have saved somewhere on your computer. Now, the first thing that I want to do is open a new event library, and the event library is going to hold my video clips for a specific project. So I'm going to click File and click New Event, and I usually name the event the same as my project so that I know that these video clips are for this specific project. So we'll call it Alaskan Wildlife. Now, once I have the event all set, I'm going to go to File, Import, and as you can see, I can get a movie from a previous movie that I've made, from a camera, or from movies that I have saved on my computer. So I'm going to select movies on my computer, and I'm going to find the movie video clip, and I have a couple down here, .mov. Click on that and import it. Now this takes, depending on how large the video clip is, it can take anywhere from less than a minute to sometimes over 5 minutes. This will go fairly fast because it's a small video clip. Now I don't want to add the entire video clip in my movie, I just want to add a portion of it, so we'll show students how to edit the video and select just a piece of it. In the meantime, let me talk a little bit about the rest of these buttons over here. This button with the little music notes, this is where I can find sound. Some sounds and some little musical arrangements are preloaded into iMovie. You can also access your iTunes library from this button. So I have a bunch of different sounds that come free with iMovie, or I can access music right from my iTunes library. The second button we already talked about, that's where I will find my photos if they are located in an album on iPhoto. This T is for different titles that I might want to add anywhere throughout my video, but more importantly at the beginning and at the end of the video. This little button is where I will find all of the different transitions that I can add. And the last button is a little map that I can add to my movie. If I were doing something on travel or a geography project, for example, I can use a map and I can put a beginning point and an ending point, and I can show the progress as the line moves across the map. Alright, but in the meantime now, my video clips have loaded. Now here are the video clips, and if you notice, when you move across, you can move it across with your cursor, or you can just hit the space bar to have it play. But if you move it across, you can hear the sound that was recorded when the video was recorded. So we don't want that, because I'm going to add my own sound. So I'm going to click this little wheel on the bottom, in the lower left-hand corner. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on Audio Adjustments, and I'm going to remove the volume. And once I do that, I cannot hear. The sound is still there, I've just turned the volume down, so I cannot hear it any longer. So now I'm going to select the beginning here. If I put my cursor here, I have a left and a right arrow. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to drag it to where I want my video to start. And let's say, for example, I want my video to start just before the brown bear jumps. And I'm going to come to the end, and I'm going to drag in my cursor, and I'm going to right to the point where the fish escapes his claws. So I'll probably end it right there, and as you can see, well, I'll make it a little bit more. And as you can see, the time expands. So right here, I have 5.1 seconds. You can see how long the video clip is going to be. So I'll leave it right here at 5 seconds. Once I have this, I move into the center of it, and my cursor becomes a hand. Now once I have the hand, I can hold the mouse key and drag it up to my storyboard. And I think I will put it right at the end of the brown bear. And you can see the insertion point is the green vertical line. So I'll put it right there. Now I can see my movie. One more thing I would like to show you. As you can see, on each clip, if you look over here, it actually looks like the picture is moving a little bit, and that's called the Ken Burns effect. So if I click on a picture, and I click on the little arrow, I can come down here to cropping Ken Burns rotation. I click on that, and now I have a little bit more control over what I would like my picture to look like. I can crop some of the excess out. I can change the direction that the picture moves in by changing the location of the boxes around it. I can have it start with the whole picture and have it zoom in so that it ends on a close-up. And I can do this for every single still picture that I enter. Once you're finished, click Done, and now watch what happens with the picture as it goes through. It starts with the whole picture and then moves in to a close-up of the bear. Alright, now I want to put a starting title and an ending title. So I'm going to click on the T for titles, and I'm going to select the title that I want. Now there's a bunch of choices down here, but it depends on the look and it depends on where in the movie you're putting your title. But I want an introductory title, so I'm going to select the first one, which is centered. I'm going to hold down and I'm going to drag it up to the beginning of my project. And once this happens, I have a variety of backgrounds that I can choose from. I'm going to just select a very neutral one. Alright, so once this is set, now you're going to come over and type in what you want it to say. So I will type in Alaskan wildlife, and the student can put his or her name here. Alright, next I want to have an ending. So again, I can select whatever I choose. I'll just select this one and drag it to the very end. And here, again, you have the options for the background. You can put credits, you can put a final message. But I think I'll just end my video. Alright, now once this is done, and again, you can put it up there. This is up for 4 seconds. On any clip, you can see that they're all 4 seconds long. You can change the length of time that any clip is up here by clicking on the wheel, clipping clip adjustments, and then under duration, just change the length of time. Now you have a choice. You can do this for just one, or you can choose to do it for all of your videos. If I wanted to change this time and have it apply to all of my stills, I would click here. Now I'm done. Now the last thing that I want to do to make it run a little bit more smoothly is to add some transitions. And again, I have my choices here. So just for the sake of efficiency, I'm just going to drag some in and you'll see what I mean. You want to caution the students not to go too crazy with these, to be fairly consistent. I mean, if they want to, they can have a few different ones, but to try to be fairly consistent. As you can see now, I'm just dragging and dropping, putting them into the vertical start points here. And you can see the difference. So we'll start over here, and there's our title page, transitioning into the pictures. There's a different kind of transition. And again, with the transitions, you have a number of choices. You can select the transition, click on it, and then select down below transition adjustments, and you can change the time. So this transition is ½ second long. You can increase it. So if we increased all of our transitions to 1 second, and I can click here, applies to all transitions, that way they all change to 1 second. Click done, and now all of my transitions will take a little bit longer to go through. It's a little bit smoother, it has a little bit more time. So there we go. Here's our Ken Burns movement, and transitions, and transitions. The last thing that we want to do is put some audio in here. Now you can put music in here. Click here and you can go find music or sounds or whatever it is that you want to do. But caution students, copyright law, you can't just use anybody's music. You have to have permission. So you can select any song at all. Select it, hold down and drag it up and drop it where you want it to start. So now we have music.
When some loud bragger tries to put me down and says this school is...
But for the sake of this, it's, for example, if a student's doing a project, maybe they want to do a voiceover to explain all about the black bear, all about moose in Alaska, all about the brown bear, etc. Put your cursor where you want to begin and select the microphone on the toolbar in the middle. Click on the microphone. Okay, now to record, where do we want to begin the voiceover? I want to start right at the very beginning, so I'm going to click here, and as you can see my little microphone. Now I'm talking, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the brown bear and where the black bear, where the black bear lives, what the black bear eats. And now I'm going to talk about moose in Alaska. Maybe I'll talk about how big they get. They're young. This one happens to have twins. And now I'm going to talk about the brown bear. So if I end my there and play. Now I'm talking, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the brown bear and where the brown bear lives. So you can see that my narration is right in line with the pictures. Now the last thing that we want to do is share this. So how will we share this? So we're going to come up here to the toolbar and click share. And we have a number of options. We can share it right to iTunes. We can create a DVD to put it in a player. We can share it for iPhone, YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, etc. Most popular among students is YouTube, so we'll share it here. So click on YouTube, and then all you have to do is log in. You have to have a YouTube account first, but log in, enter your password, and select a category. This is education, so I select education, the title of it. I put in the description, put in some tags. Now down here I'm going to select the size. And there's a good key here. Mobile if you just want it for the iPhone. If you have high-def pictures and video, then maybe you want one of these options. But just for this lesson, we're just going to select medium and click next. Understand again copyright terms, etc. When you're finished, click publish, and it will publish this to your YouTube account. And that's all there is to it. We're all done. Thank you very much for listening.